Over the past 2 years, our school partnership has grown from an initial idea into a thriving exchange between students and teachers from Germany and Thailand. What began with a search for interested participants in partner schools has since developed into a meaningful collaboration filled with inspiring encounters, both digital and in person. This retrospective looks back at the key moments of our journey, highlighting the milestones, challenges, and achievements that have shaped our partnership. The project got off to a slow start. In Germany, we had already been able to gain an interested participant for our endeavor, KhunMaeYod, a teacher at the Goetheschule in Essen, but it took some time to find a school in Thailand with students of the same age. In August 2023, we had a first digital meeting. This initial meeting was held between KhunMaeYod, Info, and Surapon Suryamanton, who works for the Pestalozzi Children's Foundation. Together, we eagerly gathered our first ideas for implementing our school exchange project. However, one important element was still missing, a partner school for the Goetheschule in Essen. But in another digital meeting with Preserve Chakensufakon, a member of the KhunMaeYod Association for Sustainable Development, we were finally able to find one, the KhunMaeYod School, located in the Chiang Mai province in Thailand. Thus, we started the year 2024 with 2 wonderful partners for the exchange. So let's take a moment to introduce you to the incredible institutions and individuals who have played a vital role in bringing this project to life. The Goetheschule is a secondary school in the city of Essen in Western Germany. It is characterized by its international orientation with a focus on bilingual education. Students are already involved in projects such as the Chat of the Worlds and the Sustainability Club. Our correspondent KhunMaeYod teaches there. She has not only been a supporter of the project from the very beginning, but has also enriched the exchange in many ways through her initiative and numerous ideas. The KhunMaeYod School is a rural school located in MaeYod village, a small community in Thailand's Chiang Mai province with less than 500 inhabitants. Here, you can see the MaeYod School campus and the surrounding village and forest. MaeYod School is also located in the traditional homeland of the Karen. Therefore, indigenous knowledge, such as the Karen's distinctive agricultural techniques, forms an integral part of the school's fascinating curriculum. So, let us now also introduce the Karen. The Karen are an indigenous group living in Thailand and Myanmar. With a population of approximately 500,000 in Thailand, they constitute the country's largest indigenous community. The Karen maintain a deeply symbiotic relationship with nature, which is reflected in their worldview, language, and culture. This connection is especially evident in their practice of rotational farming, an agricultural method aimed at sustainable and respectful use of land. This traditional farming technique involves carefully preparing specific forested areas for the cultivation of vegetables and rice. These plots are used for several years before being left fallow, allowing the land to recover, while another section of the forest is selectively cleared for cultivation. This method embodies a wealth of values and traditional knowledge, promoting sustainable resource management of soil, forests, and more, and demonstrating deep respect for nature spirits, the spirits of water, land, and forests. At the same time, it enhances biodiversity and helps protect both the soil and surrounding forests. Rotational farming is, therefore, a valuable component of the Karen people's extensive traditional knowledge, which has been passed down through generations. This is where PASD comes into play. PASD stands for the KhunMaeYod Association for Sustainable Development, with KhunMaeYod being the Karen word for Karen. The organization is dedicated to promoting the transmission of traditional knowledge. To achieve this, PASD collaborates with schools, including our partner school in MaeYod. By facilitating the partnership with the school, PASD has not only played a crucial role in bringing this project to life, but has also become an indispensable supporter throughout its development. We can say with certainty that without our partners' help in organization, mediation, and communication, none of the exchange meetings would have come to fruition. We are especially grateful to Preserve Chakensufakon, a staff member of PASD and a longtime partner of Info. Some of you may know him from the Info publication Indigene Wege, in which he contributed an article on rotational farming in the context of SDG 15. Last but not least, Surapon Suryamanton, who participated in the project's first official meeting, was also an enrichment to the partnership project on many levels. Su is a Karen from northern Thailand. She works as a representative of the Thai branch of the Pestalozzi Foundation, an organization dedicated to promoting mother tongue-based multilingual education, making an invaluable contribution to greater equality and access to education. Additionally, she has been a long-time partner of Info and has previously contributed a story to our SDG primer. With these wonderful partners by our side, the project continued to evolve. In February, the teachers from KhunMaeYod and Goetheschule first came together in a digital space to exchange ideas for an upcoming student exchange. March was particularly exciting, as instead of virtual Zoom meetings, we were finally able to meet in person. Surapon Suryamonton honored us with a stopover in Northern Westphalia during her travels, an occasion that led to 2 exciting events. On the evening of March 20, a group of 20 interested people gathered at the Allerweltshaus in Cologne-Ehrenfeld to listen to Sue's insights. The evening was centered around the story of Mrs. Frog and Mrs. Deer, which introduced us to the deeply rooted values of the current people: respect for nature, the significance of every individual's contribution to the greater whole, and the strong sense of community that defines their culture. The story illustrated how animals and plants are seen as equal parts of an ecosystem, how every action triggers a reaction, and how fairness and mutual support are fundamental principles.
Nati sagte zu den Tieren: Seid nicht gierig und nutzt andere nicht aus. Wir sind alle aufeinander angewiesen und müssen uns gut behandeln. Wenn wir uns gegenseitig bei der Arbeit helfen, müssen wir gut zu denen sein, die für uns arbeiten. Wir müssen sie versorgen und Pausen einlegen. Wenn wir einen Freund unfair behandeln, wirkt sich das nicht nur auf den Freund aus und verursacht Leid, sondern auch auf die Umgebung und die Nachbarn. Und am Ende kommt es zu uns selbst zurück und lässt auch uns leiden.
The discussion also touched on rotational farming, the challenges it faces within a capitalist system, and the linguistic diversity within the current community, along with the lack of recognition these languages receive in Thailand. This naturally led to a reflection on the core principles of Info Module 4, which explores the connection between linguistic and biological diversity and the importance of preserving indigenous languages and cultures. Understanding these relationships is highly relevant for environmental conservation and education for sustainable development. It offers solutions to current crises and global challenges by demonstrating how cultural practices and ecological knowledge go hand in hand. On multiple levels and across many dimensions, this understanding contributes to shaping a sustainable future in which both linguistic and ecological diversity are valued and protected. To put these ideas into practice, we also held a multiplayer workshop based on this module. Through outdoor exercises, maps, photographs, and storytelling, participants engaged with these concepts in a hands-on way. But now, back to the partnership. As part of Sue's visit, we also paid a joint visit to the class at the Goetheschule. With this lively encounter and the vivid impressions of current culture and way of life that Sue conveyed so authentically, the growing partnership also began to take hold among the students of the Goetheschule. A video presentation provided them with the first glimpse into the school of their exchange partners, and they learned about the current and their culture for the first time. Ms. Heub's class immediately built on this newfound knowledge by engaging with materials such as the documentary about rotational farming and a current comic. The comic, Let's Go Back Home, follows Jos, a young Karen man who left his community in search of education and work. Upon returning to his community, Jos discovers the importance and sustainability of rotational farming. The comic highlights the communal nature of this practice and its significance for the entire community. Accessing traditional knowledge through storytelling, be it through the current comic or the tale of Mrs. Frog and Mrs. Deer, also marked the implementation of Info Module 3, using ancient wisdom for a better future, storytelling with indigenous Karen narratives. In May, the next exchange awaited the Goetheschule students. Presert, who has a PhD in sociology and is an expert in rotational farming, met with them in a virtual session. The students asked many questions, covering a wide range of topics, from cultural traditions such as wedding ceremonies to issues of social justice and the organization of daily life within the current community. Then, in June, the long-awaited student exchange finally took place. The classes from KhunMaeYod Schule and Goetheschule met for the first time via Zoom, assisted by an interpreter. Initially hesitant, the students slowly warmed up to the setting and their counterparts, asking each other questions about their school days, music, social media, favorite foods, and much more. Together, the students searched for commonalities and explored what the other already knew about them, For example, whether European history is taught at KhunMaeYod School or what the students from Essen particularly like about Thailand. A few days later, the activities continued in Essen. Musician, activist, and university professor Chi Suvishan provided the students with fascinating insights into his work as an artist, his personal life journey, and his connection to his community. An engaging conversation ensued, covering a variety of questions, ranging from how does the process of writing a song actually work, to when was the moment you were truly proud of yourself and your work. Much like the protagonist of the current comic, he had to leave his community to pursue his education. In the city, he encountered prejudice and ignorance about indigenous culture and identity. This made him want to communicate on indigenous life and knowledge, to be an ambassador for his people, and so began his career as a musician. While his work as a university professor is tied to a life in the city, he plans to return to his community after retirement. Here's a small insight into his work as an artist. At the end of these various exchanges, the students from Essen reflected. Our exchange with the Thai students was an enriching experience. Despite the physical distance, we gained deep insight into the culture and life of the Parakenyo. We were particularly impressed by their respectful relationship with nature and their extensive knowledge of traditional ways of life. These experiences have broadened our understanding of cultural diversity and shown us how valuable and unique every culture is. We noticed that even though we had thought of ourselves as unbiased, there were many things that we didn't know or understand about the Karen. We got more and more excited about finally getting to meet different and impressive people, such as students from the KhunMaeYod School, Dr. Prasert Churkansufakon, or a popular musician called Dr. Chi Suvichan. Asking them questions in the video conferences resulted in some misunderstandings, for example due to different definitions of pets. Dr. Churkansufakon, for example, proudly told us about their elephants. But that wasn't all. 2024 offered not just one, but two opportunities for an exchange in real life. During his business trip, Prasert Churkansufakon, whom the students had previously met in a virtual meeting, made a stopover in Germany, where he visited the Goetheschule. Prasert's visit was an eventful 4.5 hours. Starting with the tour of the school's impressive facilities and historic tower, he then met with students from the Advanced Biology course, the School Garden Group, and the Sustainability Club. Finally, the principal of Goethe School, Dr. Nicola Haas, Info Project Coordinator Sabine Schielmann, and Prasert gathered to formally sign the partnership agreement. This official document made the Essen-Thailand partnership the only officially concluded partnership of the Info Project, something we are very proud of. The partnership agreement also marked the official start of the collaboration, and there was no shortage of ideas for further exchanges. Planned topics include climate change, forests, spirituality, and more. Since then, the new school year has already brought another digital student exchange in February of this year. The occasion, the KhunMaeYod students wanted to introduce their German exchange partners to the products and foods from their rotational farming practices. With great care and effort, they arranged various products on a several-meter-long table, and their diverse presentation explored the connections between food and culture, the importance of rotational farming, and key aspects such as the impacts of the climate crisis. If you ever want to try current food yourself, you might enjoy their sticky rice snack. Steam sticky rice, pounded with black sesame and a little salt to form a paste, then shape it into small balls. They are said to be especially delicious when dipped in honey. The exchange then transitioned into a conversation between the students of the new school classes, which started off hesitant but became increasingly lively as they asked each other questions about various topics and cheerfully waved at the camera. The grand finale: what do you want to learn next?